Welcome to Blame the Bible study where we actually read all the horrible parts of Christianity they don't like to talk about in church. Today, we're going to go to the book of Genesis, chapter 19, and talk about a really awesome guy named Lot. Lot is just one of God's favorite people. He is just so righteous and good according to the Lord, very favored in God's eyes. So let's see what kind of wonderful story the word of the Lord has for us. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. My lords, he said, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night and then go on your way early in the morning. No, they answered, we will spend the night in the square. Okay, so far, we've got some angels coming to the city of Sodom, and Lot is meeting them, and he's trying to get them to come home to his house, okay? But they're saying they want to sleep outside. I guess they were in the mood for camping or something. I don't know. Let's see. But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. Okay, so he was pretty persuasive, that Lot. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Oh, so angels can eat human food. I wonder if they go, number two. That's just where my mind went. Sorry. Not very angelic, imagining them on the pot. Verse 4 Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. Just all the men, every single man, young men, old men, middle aged men, all of them. Wow. It's raining men over there at Lot's house. Moving on. They called to Lot. Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them. Interesting. Okay, not exactly the thematic tone I expected from Old Testament book of the Bible, but this is what you get. Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him and said, no, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have two daughters who have never slept with a man. I'm not sure I like where this is headed. Let me bring them out to you and you can do what you like with them. Really? Really? Give it for real? Lot, given your two virgin daughters to every single man, young and old, in the whole town. Do what you want with them? Really? So that this is because the angels can't defend themselves? Like, is this necessary? I thought angels were like, good with a sword or somehow magical, pretty, powerful messengers of God. I don't understand this at all. What? Someone explain the logic of this, okay? Please, I beg you. Moving on. But don't do anything to these men. He's talking about the angels there. For they have come under the protection of my roof. So these strangers, these angel men, that every man in this entire town wants to have sex with, they are getting the number one special rock star treatment from Lot because they just now came under the protection of his roof, whereas his daughters, who I'm assuming have been living under the protection of Lot's roof for their entire lives, oh no, take them. Y'all, this is messed up. Get out of our way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner and now he wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them. They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so that they could not find the door. Oh. I guess they couldn't just feel around for the door with their hands. Uh, sure, okay. The two men said to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here, sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here because we are gonna destroy this place." The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. See, these people, these angels are pretty powerful. They're going to destroy a whole town. But yet he wanted to give the men his daughters. Ugh. Either the author of the story or the characters in the story are not that bright. I can't figure out exactly who it is. I'll let you be the judge of that. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, "Hurry and get out of this place because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. Of course they did. And Lot must have been quite the joker for these guys to not take him seriously. They must have thought, this sounds like the kind of thing Lot says all the time. He's just pulling our leg. Goodness. With the coming of the dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." Ooh, maybe they're going to punish the city with some kind of a tidal wave or tsunami, or what? Why are they going to get swept away? Hurricane, something like that. Very powerful. Did not really need Lot to try to offer his daughters to save them. They're very powerful men. Okay. When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and of his two daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains or you will be swept away." But Lot said to them, "No, my lords, please, your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me and spared my life, but I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me and I'll die." This translation leaves a lot to be desired. I'm really not following his reasoning here. Okay, look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared. He said to him, "Very well, I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it." That is why the town was called Zor. Yay. By the time Lot reached Zor, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. The wrath of the Lord. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. Now, why couldn't God have spared the vegetation? Was the vegetation living in sin? It doesn't say. But get this. But Lot's wife looked back. Ooh, they told him not to look back. And she became a pillar of salt. Random much? I'm sorry, when they told him to flee, did they say, if you look back, you're going to be a pillar of salt? Like, why couldn't she look back? Oh, it's because the wrath of the Lord was just like so powerful, even beholding it turns you into a pillar of salt. This is a little bit far-fetched, guys. I don't know. But don't blame me. It's in the Bible.